what? It has that...
That band kind
It does,
of feel.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's a nice theme song.
It is a nice theme song.
Yeah.
You can use it if you want.
I'd like to steal everything.
Would you?
I'd like to take it all.
Well, honey, you could have a Whoopi rose. I'm sitting here with Garry Shandling as if you didn't know.
A lot of them don't.
Well, see, what, they don't know? Who doesn't know you?
A lot of people don't get cable. A lot of people don't get HBO. Trust me.
No.
Put this one back.
Put this back. I guess we'll be right back.
We should do, could we do another opening? That was supposed to be the opening. We're not really on, are we?
Yes.
I don't know what this show is. I don't get it. Is it a daytime show? Is it a nighttime show? Do we take phone calls? It just doesn't feel like we're on TV.
Oh, but we are.
It's unbelievable.
It's frightening, isn't it?
It is. It feels like I'm in an apartment. No one's watching.
What would you like to do, Garry?
I think you know.
I'm sitting with Garry Shandling, and we'll talk about a lot of different stuff when we come back. That was my throw to commercial.
We're not really on, are we?
Oh, no, no, no.
The Whoopi Goldberg Show is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives.
Come on. Please. Please.
Are we starting now?
Yes.
So it's too laid back for me.
Was it? Were you asleep? Did I wake you up?
I fell asleep, I swear to God.
Well, shoot, honey.
I don't have a lot of energy. Is this a daytime show? Is this an evening show?
When do you want it on? Because you're the man.
You mean each guest can dictate when they want the show to be on?
Yes.
I would like this show to be on at 9:22 Thursdays.
Thursday at 9:22, you can join me and my guest, Garry Shandling.
You know, my show, which is on HBO, I swear to you, was on at 11:05 the other night.
Who makes that decision? Is there a guy that sits around and says, no, not 11 o'clock, 11:03?
Well, I guess that they must be sitting there at 11 o'clock and they look up, the technicians, and they're just black on the screen, and then they go, oh, we have to throw a tape on of some sort.
You mean the technicians are black on the screen?
I didn't mean that.
Well, what
I
did
meant
you
the
mean,
screen
Garry?
is the screen. Okay, the screen is it's mulatto. The screen that they have is what I mean. I was on. Listen, I swear to you.
Yes.
So you should be happy that you're syndicated. So, but it's probably on at the same time in each city at the same.
That's what they'd like us to believe. Yeah.
I think I've been on it. I swear to you, 10:30, 9:30, 11:05, 10:45. I don't know when it's on. That's the truth. I don't know why it varies, but I've
You
talked
don't know
to them
when your
about
show
that.
is on?
I don't know when it's on. Then I was on after the Michael Jackson concert on HBO. Because, you know, I pick up where Michael leaves off.
You are the man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You are the man.
Yeah. So, you know, the ratings were just great because, you know, all of Michael's fans stayed to watch my show.
They did.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Well, all over the HBO world.
Well,
yes.
that's the mighty world if you listen to that.
Well, you know, my fear, of course, is that I appeal to, I think my demographic group is illegal cable subscribers. I think the guys that go up on their own roof and hook it up are my viewers, and they have no way to get a rating on those people.
That's right, but yet you still continue on.
I don't know how my career has continued on because my ratings have always been, you know, I always appeal to, I think, a very small demographic group.
Well, now,
I'm depressed now.
Are you
Can
depressed?
I go back to sleep?
No, well, just hold on a second. Please try to step. Can I suck your toe or something? Will that keep you going? Because I can talk and suck a toe at the same time.
You know what? And I can kiss and talk at the same time.
Can you?
Because I talk through my nose, so I can actually kiss a woman and ask her if she's seeing somebody else all at the same time.
So you got like a ventriloquist thing happening.
In more ways than one. Please don't push me on this. Please don't push me on this. There isn't a part of my body that doesn't speak for itself. how do you
What?
find the energy to do this?
Yes.
And your acting and your wonderful public service. How do you see? This is honestly what I envy. This is what I envy most in life. First of all, you're really talented, and I envy your talent. But the energy that some people have, especially you, to do all these projects. Don't take that energy for granted. I don't know, where do you get it? Is it just a natural energy?
I get it from the judge who said you have to pay the alimony. That's where that energy goes.
So
Whoa, okay, gotta get up and pay this thing off.
You're financially motivated.
Partially, and partially just because I don't want to get bored. I get bored here easily.
Oh, see, I enjoy doing nothing. I can do yes, I'm one of the few people, I swear, that I know in the business who can take long periods of time off and do nothing. I enjoy not working.
You haven't been off for a long time.
Well, I take long periods of time off. I don't feel driven to go back up on the stage. I don't feel driven to do another project. You know, I pick and choose carefully, but I enjoy my time off. I like hanging around with my dogs. I like going camping. I'm a good time waster.
Are you?
I should do a series called Time
Wasters. Just meandering through.
Yeah, I could do anything.
Now, you're doing this show on HBO. It's great. I was supposed to do this show, and I will. I'm still going to do it.
Well, you'll come on sometime when you have time. It's hard to fit it in this schedule, I assume.
Well, it's getting easier. It's getting easier. Okay. Things are getting out of the way. You did a show with Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
She says, can see you. We have actually, they're going to put this clip in because it's hysterically funny.
You're wonderful at physical comedy.
Oh, you know, I love doing broad physical comedy.
Well, you're great at it.
You are great. I wish we could have done it.
Me too.
I love it. Hey, you'll come back another time. Maybe we can do it?
Well, I'll have to check my schedule.
Sure. Try and work it in.
But if I do, if we do it, maybe you could talk to costumes about getting you a longer loincloth. I saw your...
What?
I saw your...
Well, you know, I was hesitant when Carol came on the show.
Right.
And I know Carol, and she's hilarious.
Yeah.
And when we got to this particular part, we had talked about her saying something like that. I mean, the writers and I, and we didn't know how to, even though it's minor to you and I to say that, I didn't know how Carol would feel about that, to say, I saw. I didn't know what she was willing to say she saw. I didn't know what word to plug in there.
Yeah.
And she was the first one to jump in with, hey, I'll say I saw your... He was thrilled to be able to say that. And I think that she was hilarious on the episode, and I think there was that little charge that she got that we've all had from being able to say something that you don't usually get to say in your work.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's been given the opportunity to let go like that many times.
Probably not. And what do you think of this feuding stuff? Is this all hype? I mean, you've been around these shows enough for me to be able to ask you, I think.
Well, I don't think it's hype. And by the way, and I mean this, do you get involved in that booking situation at all?
No, because we book from a different kind of place.
So, you know, I find it to be basically ridiculous. You know, I think that there are certain things that have gone on in show business forever that stayed behind the scenes, and I think the nature of our society now is everyone wants to know everything about everything, so it's all out in the open now, and some of that stuff always went on. But, you know, until all of these guys get their show exactly the way they want it, and it should be, they shouldn't be so consumed with the guests, you know?
It's kind of spooky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's spooky because I would think, I don't know how you feel about it, and I'm curious as to how you feel about it, but I would come off camera more concerned with how I did and whether the show was going the way that I wanted to, rather than get in a booking war over getting such and such a guest, because I think you could be great interviewing any guest, quite frankly.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like you know, whether you do my show or somebody else's show, I mean, I figure that you're enough of a person to be able to speak. I mean, what are you're on other shows for 3 or 4 minutes. I expect that most people have at least 15 minutes of conversation in them about any given subject.
Well, I'm done.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
On that note, we'll be right back with Garry Shandling.
I'll go back.
Go back.
You know...
Does this mean we've slept together now, Garry?
No, because you were awake, probably. So we didn't sleep together.
We didn't sleep.
I don't know where you get the energy, I swear to God.
What, to sleep together?
To do all of this. If you want to sleep together, we can sleep together.
Oh, you keep saying that, and you always have some woman. I'm always very...
Yeah, that always throws it off, doesn't it?
That always throws it off. It makes it kind of tough to move over, you know.
Are we going to take some phone calls now?
We could.
I've only seen the show a couple times.
No. You started out at the Comedy Store, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where people...
Yeah, I guess. You know, I was a television writer first.
Who'd you write for?
I wrote for Sanford & Son. Did you know that? Go ahead, I'll wait till this dies down.
Okay.
I wrote for Sanford & Son.
Get out of here.
Absolutely. I was 25 years old. I wrote a few scripts for Sanford & Son, and then I wrote a script for Welcome Back, Kotter. And then I went on to stop writing television and started performing at the Comedy Store.
Right.
And that was my departure. I was doing great as a writer, but I was sitting at the typewriter one day, and I looked up at my calendar, and I had a script due on Friday, and I had a pilot script due on a Wednesday, and I thought, I don't really want to spend the rest of my life sitting behind a typewriter. And plus, I was frustrated at the formulas that I was falling into writing for television. So I got on stage, and I was scared to death. You know, I'm still learning. I wasn't a natural performer, and it's hard for me, and it was hard for me then, and I struggled.
Yeah.
Worked all the clubs. And I remember seeing you the first time in the Belly Room, actually, at the Comedy Store.
That's right.
Yeah. It was, you were, you know, mind-blowing.
Occasionally that happens.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
But now, why do you make fun of yourself in your comedy?
Well, you know, I think my comedy's less self-deprecating than it used to be. I think that it's somewhat of a phase. I think it's also there's some reality to it because, you know, I think I'm pretty introspective. And so in order to put down anybody else or anything else, I feel like I also have to take an honest look at myself, and there's plenty of things about myself I don't like. So I just talk about those too. Yeah. So I think probably when I started, the self-deprecating stuff was, you know, a way to get laughs. Yeah. And now it's a little more honest, I think. I hope so. Yeah. I'm trying to get a little more honest all the time.
It's hard to do, though, sometimes, because we're in a position where things get thrown at you and you can't always tell yourself the truth.
It's hard. It's hard for everybody. It's hard for politicians, isn't it?
Seems to be, honey. Seems to be. They try to be honest. You know, yes, I did it, but not all the way. You know, they want to do stuff. Are you like an obsessive person?
No, I must say that I am not obsessive, not compulsive. I seem to have the opposite personality. I'm very laid back, and in fact, it's kind of funny because if I'll say to my doctor, I haven't slept in a year, or something like that, give me a sleeping pill, they never worry about, oh, he's going to start some addiction. Right. I don't have an addictive personality in any way. Right. In some ways, it would probably be helpful to be a little more obsessive, probably get me working a little harder sometimes, but no, I'm very mild-mannered about that kind of thing. And you? A little obsessive, because you said you get bored if you don't work.
If I'm not working, I just don't know what to do with myself.
In my insecure moments, I really feel that I need to be more obsessed with the business and so forth, because, as I say, I'm not one of those people who is. And I always think, oh, yeah, I should be always wanting to work the way Others do.
Yeah. Were you like that as a kid? Have you always kind of been laid back?
Yeah. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. I grew up really across the street from the desert. And, I mean, I used to go across the street and play in the desert, play baseball in the desert. And I think that's a very, you know, calming environment in which to grow up.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in a city. I didn't grow up in the streets, you know. Yeah. And it was a very low-pressured situation.
Yeah. You lived across the street from the desert?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, you look out our window, and there's the desert, and that's where I used to go out and hike, and we used to, the baseball field was just a big sand lot in the desert that we used to have to clear, and there'd always be lizards running across and everything.
Is that
Snakes
where this camping love comes from?
No, the camping comes much later. Yeah. I didn't start really camping until I was out of college, and then I got into that.
Yeah, I'm a camp person. I like to camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I like to hike.
Well, we'll go camping then. See, that's something. Get you a little settled down in here so you're not so driven. Because you should be very happy.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I am. Life is good. I mean, we live well, I think. But I just...
Why are you selling your house in Malibu?
Because it's time. It's an hour and a half outside of where I want to be.
Did you ever get a message? I called you once. I was looking at the house next door to yours.
Yes, I know that.
It was for sale.
You should come get my house.
And the realtors do this. They go, that's Whoopi's house. And the reason they point up is because you're way up on a hill.
Yes.
And they go, that's Whoopi's house. And so I grabbed the phone and I dialed your number. I said, I'm next door. That magnificent house next to you was for sale.
Yes.
But a long drive. That takes about an hour and a half to get out there from where we are now.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it was a great place, and it was good for me. But now I went to the East. I need some seasons.
Are you living in the East?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I need some color.
Did you sell the house yet?
No, you want it?
What are you asking for?
About $1.5 million, close to $2 million. You want it? I'll make a deal with you, because you like that area.
I love that area.
I know.
But I saw you in an interview say, this is the place of my dreams.
It was. It was. And you know,
you're gonna miss it.
Well, you do, but you know, you get involved with somebody and you share a house together, and you know, it's just, and then it stops, and you have to get out of it. You know, I mean, like you've never been married, but once you do that, it's like.
But yet, I've never been married. Yet my house is full of bad vibes. I don't understand it. Yet it's as though there was a divorce
there had been a
somewhere. Yeah.
Well, see?
I don't get it. You know, the truth is I'm building a house in Mandeville Canyon on a lot that I found. A house had already been torn down, and the realtor said to me, a couple owned this house, and they were going to build a big house. So they tore down the little house, and before they started building the big house, they got divorced. So they just put the whole thing up for sale.
Well,
so I bought it, figuring good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Well, honey, you know.
I'm serious. That's what I'm doing. I'm building.
Well, see, I'm sorry, because you would have liked.
I would have come out and looked at your house, because it sounds like a steal.
It is a steal. It is a steal.
$1.5 million, hour and a half drive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but you got the ocean. Nothing but.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I once looked at a house right next to the freeway, so help me, and the realtor said, if you close your eyes, it sounds like the ocean. That's what they say. And I was afraid to close my eyes because I figured he'll spit on me and go, huh? That's the spray from the ocean. That realtors will do that to you in
what,
California.
Spit on you? Ah, slap their mother dry.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with Garry Shandling.
I'm going to go back to sleep now.
That's it. Good night.
I'm afraid I have to do a little more time to get something to use.
Go back to bed, baby. It's nothing. Go on back to sleep.